Paula Deen was one of the Food Network stars until a lawsuit by a former manager of her Georgia restaurant accused her of using racial slurs. Deen acknowledged having used the N-word a long time ago, as she described it, but was fuzzy about the specifics. The celebrity chef agreed to answer questions on the Today Show, where she's made numerous appearances, but on Friday, she was a no-show.
At one point, she asked to speak to me, and I spoke to her late afternoon on the phone yesterday, and we talked about the fact it would be an open and candid discussion, no holds barred, all questions within the bounds of what we would talk about. Her people, her publicity people, have told us that she's exhausted and will not be showing up.
Hours later, Deen posted a video in which she said she was sorry.
I want to apologize to everybody for the wrong that I've done. I want to learn and grow from this. Inappropriate, hurtful language is totally unacceptable.
But those words came too late. The Food Network announced it was not renewing her contract. Joining us now in New York, Adam Buckman, media reporter for TV Howl and the Xfinity TV blog, and Marisa Guthrie, who covers the media for The Hollywood Reporter. And Marisa, the 10,000-calorie question, I suppose, is, did Paula Deen deserve to lose her job at the Food Network, or is the network just running from controversy?
Oh, yeah, look, you can't admit to dropping the N-word in 2013 and think you're going to hold on to your job or your corporate sponsors. I mean, she may have her supporters, as, you know, all the people lining up at her restaurant, you know, indicates, but her corporate sponsors and the Food Network needs to appeal to a broad swath of the public, and they can't afford to alienate those people.
Adam Buckman, Paula Deen is sort of a mini cottage industry, 3 shows on the Food Network, cookbooks and the like. Would things have been differently if she had apologized immediately rather than let this drag out, lots of publicity, and then blowing off the Today Show she did?
Well, to answer that question, you have to kind of decide just how toxic the N-word is in of itself. And really today, there's really few words more toxic than the N-word. And apologies, I guess if I were a PR person or counseling her, I might have said, you know, put out a written statement and disappear for a while. Here you are, the queen of Southern cooking, you know, using the N-word. It just doesn't fly, and it's just very difficult to get out from under that sort of in an immediate way by issuing a video apology. I think that in this case she needed to step away from it for a while and maybe try and make a comeback sometime in the future.
Did she hurt her cause, Marisa, by agreeing to be interviewed by Matt Lauer and then not showing up and having the Today Show do what we just saw, explain that she was, you know, had canceled at the last minute, dragging the story out, getting more attention to it, and then only belatedly later that day, which was Friday, making that video apology? Yeah,
it revealed or showed that she didn't really want to answer questions. You know, she did what a lot of people have done who don't want to answer questions. They make a video and post it so that everything is on their terms and there are no tough questions to be asked. And, you know, her representatives may have said to the Today Show that she was exhausted, and she may have actually been exhausted, but it just feels like an excuse that, you know, you don't want to confront something. And so I think that hurt her even more.
My problem, Adam Buckman, is that we don't know precisely from this lawsuit how many years ago she said this, how repeatedly it was used. There was also some talk about having a bunch of black waiters at a wedding that she was planning, an idea that was dropped. But in a deposition, talk about not helping herself, related to this suit, when she was asked about the N-word jokes, she said, Paula Deen said, most jokes are about Jewish people, rednecks, black folks. I can't myself determine what offends another person. That, I think, made her sound less than sensitive.
Well, I think most of us would disagree or hope that we would be more capable of knowing what would offend or be sensitive to other people. And in that statement, she certainly reveals a lack of sensitivity, almost an old-fashioned kind of narrow-mindedness that, again, might have fed into the Food Network's decision to drop her because, you know, here's a personality not exactly behaving in public statements or in depositions as we expect kind of the modern day person who's in the media and in the public eye to behave or to talk about these issues. I mean, to just sort of pawn it off as, I don't know who would be offended by calling somebody a racial slur, is to really, I think, condemn yourself to kind of the past and not be seen as somebody who would have continued popularity in the present.
Right. And finally, Marisa Guthrie, if you're a celebrity chef, you go on TV, you're creating an image about yourself. It's not just about the cooking. She's also been criticized for too much high-fat recipes, and of course, she herself developed diabetes. So what I'm hearing from both of you is, if you do something in your private life or your personal conduct, and she's an employer of a restaurant, that mars that image, then you become toxic, to use a strong word.
Absolutely. And look, she was able to keep these attitudes. I mean, they've been swirling around her for some time, obviously, as the lawsuit indicates. But she was able to keep these attitudes under wraps as she built this $17 million media empire. So she knows what offends people, and she knows that it was wrong.
I still find it sad. Marisa Guthrie, Adam Buckman, thanks very much for weighing in this morning.